And here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, on Esports Heaven with the Kung Fu Cup. You probably know it by now, but
we've said it so many times at this point. So, like, for anyone who doesn't know, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, but I feel if anyone comes in, like, you know, one of our viewers comes in, and,
like,
what is this?
Newcomer.
Yeah, and you also have to introduce, I guess.
Of course, it's part of the sort of whole thing, right?
Yeah, you have to do it. It's part of the culture.
It is part of it. Like, anyway, guys, so to any of you new people tuning in right now on Esports Heaven, very welcome to the second and final European qualifier here for the Kung Fu Cup. After this, we have one more NA qualifier and the Southeast Asia one. So only 2 remaining out of all of the 7 ones that we have been running so far.
Yeah, and, well, after this one, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. This is technically the 5th one, so...
Okay, well, it seems like we had a series, but we are having some issues with the players. I guess you're gonna have to buy me some time, and
I'll buy you some time.
Yeah, buy me some time, man. But of course, we are
don't have enough money.
No, you actually don't. I'm gonna have to buy you.
Buy me some time, man.
Yeah,
lend me some money so I can buy you some time.
Exactly.
I think that's a good setup.
But you know what? I'm gonna fetch a new series ASAP.
Yeah, go ahead. You just take your time. And
you could probably recap a bit of what we saw previously.
Most definitely. So anyway, guys, we opened up the day with a ZBP, or a ZBZ actually, where we had, I need to remember the names, because we've been talking about this. We're terrible with names, especially I am absolutely appalling with names. Man, who were the first 2 Zergs that we had?
It was...
Can you help me out?
Ooh, that was a difficult one. Dude, me and names as well. You can't call me out on this. I mean, oh god, I can't remember anything. I'm so focused on the casting.
Elazar.
Oh, right. Elazar versus it was the seed player.
Yes,
known as Revolution.
Revolution, exactly. We had a very good ZVZ there. And then the next series we had, I think that was the one where we had Night End actually playing versus Guru, and Guru was late, which meant that Night End received 1 map score due to walkover rules. So they played 1-1 into the second game, which ended up with Night End taking the victory 2-1. And then we had our 3rd series that we just saw now before the break, where we had Night End face off against SortOf, who managed to take him down 2-0. Was that right?
Yeah, just about.
Nice,
and
how are we looking on that?
We have one series that is going to come up, which is going to be Maffeman versus...
it's going to be Darkstars Maffeman, actually.
Yeah, Maffeman, exactly. Darkstars Maffeman versus SortOf again. Ooh. That's the quickest series we can find without having to, wait for another 10 minutes.
We'll just go grab that.
So I think we're going to go with that. It's pretty decent play still, about Grandmaster level for Maffeman, I would say.
Both of these guys, pretty skilled. It's going to be a PvZ anyway, so, more Zergs, more Protoss. Have not had any Terrans yet.
We haven't. I'm going to try to find us a Terran, I promise you guys.
But to be fair, dude, there's not a lot of Terrans on EU.
There are very few, actually, in the brackets.
In general, man. Like,
because Bunny already made it. So
yeah, that's true. Liquid Bunny did qualify in the first.
Exactly. Marine Lord as well. So the Terrans are gone. We have Daishi left, I guess. He's not even in the brackets.
So sad, so few Terrans. So, any of you guys who wanted some Terran action should have tuned in during our Korean qualifiers. And all of those VODs are up on YouTube, so you guys can go back, check those out. Just search for Kung Fu Cup, because we saw Cure playing, we've seen Bibyong or Byong, however you want to call him. Gumiho was playing, and so we've had lots of amazing Terrans out of the Korean scene. Just coming over here. To
Hack as well.
Oh yeah, he was also playing.
Yeah, really good.
So many good plays, nonetheless. So guys, you can just go check those out if you feel like it. If you're hungry for more sick games.
We're gonna have all the VODs coming up on YouTube.
Yeah, we half of them already.
Oh yeah. I thought you were gonna say we're gonna have half of them. I'm like, half of them only?
No man, we've got
if you pay $10, you get all of them. It's going to be a business deal.
Yeah, it's like...
you get half,
we also post low quality. We've actually sorted out transcoding. It's going to be available very shortly.
In about 2 days or so, I hope?
Yeah, by Wednesday, roughly, I believe.
So for the North American cast, we're going to have transcoding.
Yes, that is true.
So then you can see at even high quality than we have right now.
Watch source, you can watch lower, so just to avoid stuttering. So that's going to be really nice. I know a lot of people have been complaining about it, and I know your pain. Trust me, I've been watching GSL on low. And it's absolutely appalling, with that quality.
Wow. Yeah, but that's true, though. I actually paid for high just so we could watch it.
Yeah, you got your way. You want some high quality StarCraft.
Oh yeah, I need me some high quality. I want Source if I can, but
Yeah, Source is the best.
it's the best. And of course, you know, as you could tell from the first day we casted here, we actually had an even higher quality than we have now.
Yeah, we were running like 60 frames per second.
Oh yeah,
50
we
frames.
had
I can't,
some really high bit rates
Yeah, it was really
as well.
not really nice though. So like the entire setup was absolutely like
Stellar.
yes.
And of course, for the next qualifier, we're going to have even better quality than we have right now.
This
so,
is true.
That being said, we are running, or rather jumping, into the next series. And it's going to be two very well-known players by us.
Yeah, you know, personal friends with the first one here spawning.
Whoa, that's the wrong score
in
from Mr.
the,
Maffeman.
Bottom left. I'll take that again. Interrupting me there, man.
Yeah, sorry, I had the wrong score.
It's fine, buddy. I'm fine. It's fine. I got this. So our first player spawning in the bottom left, wearing the color red, playing for Team Darkstar. He is Mafferazzo. He was actually on the academy for ages, and finally now made it onto the main team. Congratulations to him. On the other side of things, though, we do have the blue Zerg, also Swedish. Not on a team. He is SortOf.
And he used to play on, I believe it was Western Wolves back in the day.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he played for Western Wolves. That's right.
But they don't really exist in StarCraft anymore.
Sort of gone underground. But man, like so Mafferazzo played in Esports SM.
Yeah, Maffeboy.
Mafferboy, yeah.
We talked to this guy.
Yeah,
a lot,
I'm good
actually.
friends with this guy, right? So
Really nice guy.
we talk on a regular basis, and he played in Esports SM. Almost managed to qualify, only to lose to his teammate Avocado.
Who's what is he? High GM? I
Yeah,
believe?
he's a like, high GM Terran. And then like a few days after that, after he lost like 2-1 in their qualifying series, like the final one, he takes him 5-0 in practice.
Oh, that
So,
gotta be.
yeah, so like he was really bummed out. Sort of course, did make it through. No, wait, he actually played Morrow, who was the one to advance on. So,
yeah.
so like we had both of these guys participating in Esports SM. So this is, you know, looking back, kind of like an Esports SM match that we have here in front of us.
Yeah, just about. Of course, Mafferazzo, which is his real tag usually. He is called Maffeman. He is kind of, you know, reaching for Grandmasters. Upcoming
This guy is aiming like to the stars, man. He's working
he's
really
really
hard.
young as well. How young is he again?
He just turned 15.
He just turned 15.
Yeah, so like he practices very hard. That's actually why he changed his name to Maffeman, because he used to be Maffeboy. And then he turned
now he's
15.
getting older.
Yeah, and you're like, no, I'm a man.
Oh, that's
no,
such a
I'm
15-year-old guy.
Yeah, so he changed it to Maffeman.
Wow.
But you know, he has a like, really insane PVZ.
Oh,
whoa!
Sort of.
And
Wow.
as I say that, he loses the probe.
Yeah.
Not really, doesn't tell too much about the actual like, matchup, but still, Mafferazzo has like really good PVZ. Sort of though, like really talented in ZVP. So we have to see how these two players are going to be colliding now on the battlefield.
Remember though that the Zeld has just started for Mafferazzo, while we see Sort of getting 6 links. So he might run in here and try to maybe catch the Zealot. When you get 6 links, you usually want to try to get some early economic damage. 4 links are enough if you surround a Zealot. If it's being kited though, they are usually just barely not enough to kill it off. Of course, you need 3 hits per Zealot to kill a Zergling, so usually you pull them back just in time to save them. And oh, Maffeman messing up his micro for a second will not get those links.
Yeah, so they're very weak. So one Zealot will be able to deal with this, especially once we have the Mothership Core pop in, is sort of actually getting another probe here. So, you know, making the most he can out of the few Zerglings that do remain.
And Sort of will get out with this Ling, and I think he will just try to run away. Might get pro, but Mafferazzo does pull it away in time. So Sort of with a cute little poke here, it does get 3 in total, 2 in the main base of Mafferazzo.
Very good pickoff, really. You know, with those early Zerglings, gets a scout as well. So Sort of has a very comfortable opening phase so far in this game. Grabs the 3rd hatchery, just finished now, and Stargate coming out here from Mafferazzo. Really like it on this map, because you know, you have a few angles there where you can't really get in, pick off those overlords without having air units. And of course the Phoenix, very nice to keep alive throughout the mid game, is going to keep the Zerg away from that mute attack.
Oh yeah, and Mafferazzo is pushing out with...
Almost missed that Zergling.
Oh yeah, he pushes out, which sort of now scouts. Remember though that sort of now adds his 6-minute gases, which of course means that his speed is going to be very, very late. Stargate, as you say, is going down from Maffeman, but it might get scouted here by SortOf, which would make him, of course, right away go into that, or rather those spore crawlers. Let's see if he goes into Phoenix right away instead, perhaps.
I might see an Oracle, but you know, Oracle at this point with this number of queens, and especially when scouted, really loses a lot of that utility. So if he wants to use it at all, I would definitely say Phoenix would be the superior choice.
He's not making anything at this point. Is he actually just not going to make anything for some time now out of that Stargate?
No, I mean, it seems like it, because it's just sitting there. Forge being added in here now for Maffeman. So at this point, well, there we have the Oracle. But as I was saying, at this point, Maffeman has those 4 gas. Can add Robo if he wants to. Twilight Council, going to blink all in off of 2 bases. Go ahead and grab a 3rd base, go for a bigger blink all in, or go for the Colossus tech. He has a lot of options, really.
Well, let's see what he's going to do after this Oracle. Right now, though, he's pushing towards his 3rd base with the Mothership Core, which will get chased by a link to see just the timing of the 3rd. 8:20, it goes down, and well, sort of right now. He's getting into his lab. He's not going on too many gases, just now 4, so it doesn't look like he's going to the most heavy of techs whatsoever. And we might just see Hydra play, now adding in, of course, the 6 gases, so probably just standard Hydra play from him. We might see him going to some heavy Ling Hydra on 3 bases to shut down the 3rd base, which is very, very common at this point.
Oh yeah, and very hard to stop for the Protoss with such a late Robo, as you can see. He's going to have to rely on good force fields and hopefully be able to buy time there before the damage can be done. But this Oracle comes in right as SortOf plants down that Hydralisk Den and the Infestation Pit. So, you know, from this, we could probably assume it's going to be for some Hive play. Go up to Quick Hive, play Ling Hydra, and then probably add in Roaches to go with this.
Is at this point you need to scout thoroughly just as the Infestation Pit finishes. Is it upgrading something, or is it is the main base getting a Hive? The difference, of course, is are you seeing Swarmers play or are you seeing Viper play? Now, Maffeman could have seen the early game technically, so he might know what's coming his way. He might just assume this is going to be Vipers, but he needs to get into that base and scout ASAP what is going to happen.
Yeah, you know, I think we'll see him send a Hallucinated Phoenix shortly, because he saw the Infestation Pit, of course, and once that finishes up, he wants to, of course, go check what's happening in the base of SortOf. 4th base, though, will be coming under attack here from Maffeman, so he's got a few sentries. Mothership Core available as well. Actually going to get the cancel here, so that's nice from Maffeman, but still a lot of Hydras in production here for our Zerg player.
I feel right now Maffeman needs to go back right away. You do not want to take this fight. You do not want to waste all these force fields, because SortOf can go for counter damage, or sorry, counter attacks rather, before Colossi comes out. Until Colossi are out, you're not going to see any kind of AoE to be able to deal with these high damage, high range Hydras. So Maffeman should just go back, save that photon charge, and oh my god, if he loses his Mothership Core and every single sentry!
Oh man, that's terrible for Maffeman. Every sentry will go down. So much gas has been thrown away. He's not going to be able to do anything now, like holding this 3rd base. What is he going to do? Like, how do you hold a 3rd base without force fields versus this number of Hydras? Roach is being added in. Viper's on the way, man. SortOf setup is really good. Well, Maffeman, he pretty much lost the entire backbone of his army.
And, well, he's even going to lose his Oracle. The question is, does he know now that we're going to see Hive?
You know, he might, because with that quick Infestation Pit, probably just assuming that. But to be honest, man, like at this point, losing all of those sentries, this game is over unless Maffeman finds a miracle of some sorts, because all those sentries, all like the Mothership Core, unforgivable at this point. That's a mistake you will never recover from as Protoss.
Exactly, that's what I was talking about. You do not want to let that happen. You cannot let that happen at this point in the game. Right now we see SortOf trying to push up this ramp. Of course, very difficult to do, but he forces another force field, and now he's pushing towards that third. Viper already out, and he does get the Colossus. Not much left for Maffeman, and GG. SortOf goes in with a 1-0 already.
Yeah, you know, that yank just right away, but still, that was a big blunder from Maffeman.
It was
a bit of an overextension in the middle of the map.
It was. He got the cancel. And that's enough.
Just go home.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking so much about, like, you don't want to stay there.
No.
And the worst thing that could happen is your mothership core dies prematurely.
Just like what we saw there, did get focused down by those Hydralisks from SortOf, and that just isolates the entire army, and you lose all those sentries, like 7 or 8 sentries, 700, 800 gas, so much time lost because he's been building up energy on them, like, from the very start of things, and the thing's just looking really dark there. Maffeman, well, will need a miracle now in this series. Cannot let a thing like that happen again.
Oh no, I mean, it was a big mistake, it should not happen, but unfortunately it did. And
very unlucky.
Yeah, I feel, you know, what to take away from that game for Maffeman was just, like, keep your head cool, don't try to do anything rash, you know.
No, yeah, but the thing is, like, I know he struggles with nerves, so, you know, might have been that, which made him sort of staying out on the map for longer than he should have. And now down by 1 game, we'll have to see how does this affect his mindset. SortOf, though, a lot of tournament experience, he's very seasoned, a bit of a veteran here in StarCraft 2. So probably just taking it quite chill. He's up now by 1 game, so of course, which is very comfortable, and probably carries a lot of confidence over from that previous series, bringing down Nighten 2 to nothing.
Sorry for that. Just setting up for the next.
I was just about to oh well, I'll fill in.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm just trying to get us all this series, so it's going to be a smooth travel, of course.
Smooth trip.
Smooth trip, yes. I like to think of it as a long trip through the brackets.
It is actually, sort of.
It kind of is.
Sort of is.
Yeah, what about SortOf?
Oh, yeah, you know, he's sort of okay, I guess.
Yeah, sort of. But I'm ready as well, so it looks like we're going to go ahead with Overgrowth coming out here, and it's not looking too good for Maffeman.
No. We'll have to see if he'll be able to swing things back in this best of 3. So far, after this game, we'll be taking a look at the brackets, or this series, we'll be taking a look at the brackets, you know, make sure to check how far we've been able to go in. But as you can see, guys, we are loading right in here. It is going to be Overgrowth. So, you know, without further delay, let's just take it away. And so we have our first player, the Red Protoss, young prodigy man, struggling a little bit now in this series, though. Will he be able to swing things back? Tied up, he is Dark Stars Maffeman. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left. He is the blue Zerg, SortOf. Man, that icon.
Yeah, that icon, every time his eyes stare through your soul.
Yeah, like when it slowly rotates, it looks so ridiculous, but it's really funny.
It's like one of those James Bond things, you know, on the chair, he's like petting the cat, like, I've been expecting you, and he just stares at you like that.
Man, like, I think he looks like a nice lad. Like.
Yeah, no, but like those eyes, though, like, they just see your soul.
Do they like intimidate you?
Yeah, no, they are just like way too friendly somehow.
Do you think so? Like, can someone look too friendly? Like, that person looks so friendly.
Well, not friendly.
There has to be something wrong with them.
They look too innocent. At the same time, they look too piercing for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't understand that. Like a piercing look. Do you mean like
think of Voldemort before he actually became evil?
They look through you.
Think Voldemort as a young kid.
As what's his name? Tom Riddle.
Exactly.
When he's
think of Tom Riddle.
He didn't look evil, man. He was handsome.
Yeah, but if he stared at you, though, you'd realize something was off.
No, it depends. Like, if it was...
I was right! This is completely evil. This is a 14-14. I was right! I told you! Okay, so I predicted Voldemort!
Yeah, man, he's just gonna go for the speed, and then he's gonna start flooding links. Maffeman has gone, you know, for the better opener in terms of defense versus this. But it's gonna be about if he can identify that SortOf is just going to flood Zerglings. Does he wall off the front of the ramp? Will he have enough units? It's going to be very scary here for Maffeman. So he even goes for the Zealot cancel so he can plant down the quicker Nexus.
Let's see if when he gets up here, he probably needs to get the Chrono ASAP on the Zealot. And he goes in here, he sees, oh, this is a build I know of. And, well, 14-14 That means that he's not going to plant the Nexus whatsoever. Double gas goes down, and, well, right now, just about not losing any workers whatsoever.
Yeah, man, it's going to be very important. So, like, look at this. With this double gas, Mafferazzo will be able to, you know, get out the quickest entry, because this is a bit of a problem versus 1414. You cut out the gas. This is actually the sort of build that Knighton did. You know, he cuts the gas, cuts everything else for the faster Nexus. But we can see how this is hurting him, because this is not a regular gateway expand. He does not have that single gas, he does not have the cybernetics core, so he can only make a single zealot. And now, with it finished up, he's chronoming into warp gates, needs to get that mothership core. Man, this is going to be very hard for Mafferazzo, but he's got the wall off so far. Needs to be positioning that zealot perfectly, and I think there's a small gap here, just as you're highlighting.
I think there is.
Yeah, it looks like it, man.
Well,
this is scary.
Oh,
there
this
okay,
is better.
He fixes it. There we go. No hole.
No hole here, and actually I would love if he mineral walked a probe in front of it as well, to just hold position, but he's going to hold out for now. Sort of, though, this is something we haven't seen for a while. I've been talking about it quite some time, though. This is the effort kind of style. He just gets these links, no more, and behind this, a third base, he's going to macro really hard, and it's a very, very interesting kind of opener, something we saw effort use in GSL, and it really just crushed through players like Classic, players like, I believe even Rain had a hard time dealing with this.
This is so scary for the Protoss, because, you know, you don't know if he's making more Zerglings. You don't want to move too far with the Mothership Core to scout, because, you know, right as it is, he might hit you with Banelings even, you know, and then the Mothership Core is really important to be able to focus fire Banelings, use the time warp, if you get breaks in.
Exactly, you can't even afford a hallucination.
No, you need to just play it as safe as possible, and this is giving sort of the room he needs to go for that third hatchery, start droning again, so he just completely mind-gamed Mafferazzo here, and he's taking the bait.
He really is, and well, sort of does finish up the speed. You can actually cancel it if you want to, but he does finish up the speed, so he can still kill units. He can still try to snipe maybe a zealot, maybe attack the probe trying to build the Nexus. If you watch Effort doing this back in the day, you're going to see him being very active with these links, extremely active. And of course, this builds very nicely later for 3-base play with Ling, Roach into even Mutalisk later.
Yeah, we'll have to see, you know, what SortOf decides to do now, because he's got a great economy going.
Ooh, I like this.
Gonna add more drones, and, you know, playing it very safe even, because he knows that he forces Mafferazzo to go into that double gas, and Mafferazzo, of course, because he cannot take that Nexus so quickly, needs to drop some other sort of tech, and Stargate it is, sort of identifying this very nicely. Spore is going to finish off with Mafferazzo, gets only a single drone for his trouble, and that's not enough damage. That's
really not enough damage, even being trapped here, losing too much health, and, he goes into a natural to make sure he can go for this forward push and have some economy behind it.
Obviously, Mafferazzo moving out, though, with a few Zealots and Sentries. These Lings are going to be able to get right in. Does force an additional warp in it, but still, that Zealot will go down. Mafferazzo sort of torn between if he should go or not. This is very annoying, and we might actually lose a Sentry here if he's not careful. It's getting very low. Forces a force field out of him. And still, Mafferazzo, with this move out, did force a few additional Zerglings, so we'll slow down the drone production only a little bit here from SortOf. Has retained the Oracle as well. Still, needs to be very careful, because I see no proxy pylon here for the Protoss. And that means he will not be able to reinforce.
I really do like this move out from Mafferazzo. It does force a lot of links from SortOf, but now he cannot lose the Mothership Core. He cannot be losing sentries. He must recall as he sees all these units, and he's not recalling right now. Potentially, there we go, just in time. Doesn't lose anything. That's the best he could do at that point, at least.
You know, actually, he ended up forcing a lot of Zerglings. So, nice little shark. He's going to get that +1 attack. And grabbing the additional gases here. We'll see if he decides to go into that Blink, which is very common. Blink, great utility tool. Once again, though, Mafferazzo deciding to, what it looks like, maybe move out. With this number of sentries, can easily go and grab that third base. But, as you touched upon before, Zergling, Roach, Mutalisk, very, very strong composition, very flexible and mobile composition, and without any super hard counters, let's say if you're already a Phoenix in the air, it's really hard to deal with.
It really is, and it comes down a lot to whether you have the multitasking to really handle all your units at the same time. SortOf, with this kind of style, should be looking to attack to all the different bases at the same time, moving into the main with the mutas, maybe even force the army back into the main, and then go kill a lot in the third, maybe even kill the Nexus. That's the kind of moves you do with that style. We'll see if he wants to go into a mutas or not, because he can still get a Hydralisk down.
That's very true. Something that, of course, Maffeman has to watch out for. I don't think he's a Robo yet, so, you know, generally we don't see Storm being chosen for splash damage with Protoss in this matchup very often. So not really going to have any splash in terms of you know, dealing with the ground army like that. See the spy go down though, so might as well just, you know, see. I think it's just going to be a, you know, Roach Ling Mutalisk.
It's a very natural composition from what SortOf did. And we see now Maffeman moving out on the map again, but SortOf right on track. He moves forward to the third base, but he decides to go back home, doesn't want to lose anything at home, or rather at his third base, or his fourth even.
Yeah, you know, this is actually a lot of force fields here, and without sufficient Roach numbers, it's going to be very hard to stop this, because he can just zone him out, can even drop a few force fields here on the ramp. There we go, Maffeman not overlapping a single force field, perfect placement there. Will be able to kill this fourth base, force a cancel at least. And after this, should be recalling, because now we have a handful of Zerglings and Roaches moving up towards his side of the map. Needs to be careful to not take damage from this.
Yeah, nice force field here. Will trap a few Lings, but now with the Burrow, it's going to be very difficult for Maffeman to deal with. All this kind of harassment is all up to the cannons at this point because of the lack of the Robo that you did point out earlier. We now see the photon charge ready, might be used. But we'll hold for now with some good force fields. Does not want to lose any sentries though. Yeah. This is exactly what SortOf is after. Yeah,
I mean, two go down here, and with this burrow, he'll be able to just burrow the wounded Roaches. They regenerate a bit quicker when underground. Maffeman needs to be very careful because he's going to get trapped right outside his natural. Another sentry does go down, drops the force field, so the Roaches for now cannot enter. But behind this, the Spy comes into play, and we have 14 or 11 Mutalisks being added into this. And Maffeman with this kind of army, not having sufficient composition, does not have the sufficient composition to deal with this. And, you know, with the Mutalisks and the speed and mobility of this army, SortOf is easily going to be able to secure this fourth hatchery uncontested.
And now what SortOf probably will be looking to do is attack into the main base, trying to kill as many workers as possible and pull back Maffeman. Maffeman should know this is what he's trying, but the most natural response is to just move back with your entire army. Maffeman, though, does not do so right now. He's moving out on the map at the wrong time. This third is going to go down, and that means GG! Nothing left for Maffeman, and SortOf will take this game with a 2-0.
Another 2-0 versus a Protoss, man. SortOf playing very well. And Maffeman trying his best. Not enough for now. So, let's be a bit sad about that, man. I know he tries really hard. SortOf ending up being the superior of the two. So, I mean, he's looking pretty good, though.
He's looking really good right now. I was actually expecting SortOf to be a bit off, since, you know, we saw him in esports him doing really well, but also having a bit, like, inconsistency issues.
Like, he was struggling versus Morrow.
He was struggling, and
different matchup, but still.
Yeah, but right now we see him doing a really good job. We might see him come in, you know, further and further.
I think it's another thing, kind of, you know, that we were talking about a bit.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I even see Maffeman afterwards saying, you know, like, damn, he was really good, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't maybe expecting that.
No.
But guys, we're going to take a look at the bracket, so let's bring that up. We'll see if things work. There we go. So, right now, go to the very top. We are right now finishing up in the rounds of 16, as we can see. Snoot is going to face off versus SortOf. If we work our way down, we have Pit Drogo, who is going to play versus Kung Fu Banda. Where can we find our Nani boy, though? Is he still around?
Nani right now is facing Bling at the current moment.
Okay, we can catch that one.
We can try to catch the second game.
Yeah, I think let's try doing that. So, you know, we will be, of course, cutting it to break, and then after that we're going to see if we can jump into Naniwa mid-series, because I know all of you guys want to see Naniwa play. I'm equally as hyped about this guy.
Oh yeah.
So like we're gonna do our best, guys. But you know, before anything else, and with everything said, we're gonna have a 3-minute break before we return, and then we will try to bring you guys some Naniwa. But until then, stay tuned.